All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I am joined with Penelope Ann Miller, the actress who played Nancy Reagan in the movie Reagan. And I got to say, this is hitting everybody. This is crazy what I'm seeing. You're in a hotel right now, right?
Yeah, we're in a hotel. We've been here, it'll be a week Wednesday. Although we were evacuated on Tuesday, I stayed at my sister's in Silver Lake. Um, my husband stayed at our house, which was really scary to me because we were really in the thick of it. It was right when everything started on Tuesday. It's surreal, honestly, David. Like, I don't even know what I'm living in. We're living in a third world country. It's a war zone.
I'm going to play this video just so people can see. Like, this was just a random mini tornado that just whipped through parts of LA at 5 a.m., 1/11/25.
Okay.
I mean, look at that. I mean, this looks like something out of hell. Like an Inferno. I mean, and it's still spreading, right? Right, Penny?
Yeah.
Take a look at this fire tornado spotted above the Palisades fire this morning. This was captured by Air 7. Just a wild view there.
They're saying it's 11% contained in the Palisades. But we have cousins that live in Altadena, and literally on the same night that we were evacuated, both their homes burned down. My cousin and her daughter and their family, and both their homes burned down in Altadena, and we're like an hour away. So our homes, all the homes in the Palisades, I would tell you, David, literally almost every single one of our friends have lost their home that live in the Palisades. Maybe two have survived.
What are the hotels like over there? Are they just overbooked and just are
Yeah.
they jacking up the price? Are they allowed to do that?
Well, they're not supposed to. We did get a 20% discount. We got in early, but I mean, just in terms of like, it's so sad because we have friends that are looking for homes that don't have a home. Our home, luckily, is still safe. We're not allowed in it. This is a whole other story that we'll get into. But our friends that don't have homes are looking for Airbnbs, they're looking for rentals, they're jacking up those prices, which they shouldn't be allowed. I think it's illegal to gouge the prices when someone's in a catastrophe like this. Yeah, they can only go up like 10%. But
You
we have
shouldn't be able to go up at all. I
they
mean,
should
this is
no, they should go down. They
they
should go
should
down.
go down. Yeah.
Well, I know there was an Airbnb thing that was allowing people that were in an evacuation or lost their homes that were getting 2 weeks for free. I know friends that did get in on that, but it's very hard to get in touch with those people. But finding a home right now, just imagine everyone's looking for an Airbnb or a rental. It's insane.
You're out of luck. You're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've been trying to go back to your home, right? Like you've tried to go back. Your house is still good, correct?
Our house is safe.
Wow.
We're actually we're still in an evacuation zone, which is why we're not home. But like to me, it's very strange that we're not allowed to get into our homes. Like even if we show ID and we show that we live in the home, sorry, my dog's crying. They're so confused. Our animals are just so confused. So just to be able to be allowed in our homes, like you'd think, oh, you show ID, you show you live there, even if we're not in a car, and I understand it impedes, the LA Fire Department or the ambulances or the polices to get through, right? Because we have a thoroughfare where we live in Santa Monica. But if you're on foot and you're allowed to show your ID and show that you live in that place, like why aren't you allowed in your home to protect your home? Because they're also worried about looters. There are looters. And the reason that there are looters is because nobody's in their home. And we don't have power. So you don't have your alarm systems. You don't have your, whatever it is that you need to protect your home. We should be allowed as homeowners, as taxpayers, to be allowed in our homes to
Right, and to
protect our
protect our
home.
own homestead. Like, so are they already
Absolutely.
reporting a lot of looters?
They're finding looters. So now we have the National Guard, we have the police, we have the fire department. Every day, David, it is getting stricter and stricter. And other days, like, they turn the cheek and they're like, oh, okay, you live here, it's okay. Now they literally won't let you in even if you live there. And I find
That's insane. It's almost like this was desired. Like this is what they wanted. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this is exactly to me. They're accomplishing the same thing they did, and I'll be vague because this is YouTube, but
COVID.
they're almost exactly they're accomplishing the same thing as what happened in 2020, and it's almost like, gee, that's convenient, isn't it?
But
Right when Trump's coming in.
David, here's the thing: we're on lockdown, but in lockdown, at least we were allowed to be locked down in our homes. Now we're locked down in a hotel where we have to actually pay money, and or lock down people who don't even have places to live or looking for places. Sorry about the noise. My dog is crying.
Okay.
Luna, stop. Um, but seriously, like when you're locked down, it's one thing to be locked down in your own home and you're like, okay, at least I'm in my home and I'm safely in my home. But when you're not allowed to be in your home, like there's something seriously, I think, unconstitutionally not right about that.
No, I agree with you. And Gavin Newsom, here he is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, so how many of your friends, actors, actresses, have lost their homes? I mean, think about the regular people. I mean, think about the people that really have nowhere to go. Like, where are they? What are they doing? What
And
about the
people
people's in
that don't
hospitals, in
people that
nursing homes?
right.
Where are they going? I mean, they're just
Yeah, people that don't have the means, that don't have the funds, that don't have the monetary, lifestyle that's affording them to be allowed to stay in a hotel. Honestly, like it's heartbreaking. I cannot tell you. It's beyond what I would ever have imagined. I've never seen anything like this. Like we were in New York during 9/11. We've been through earthquakes. We've been through fires in Malibu. We've been through so much living in California or even being in New York during 9/11. I have never in my life, David, seen anything like this. Anything like this, where I don't think I know this many people in my lifetime who've literally lost their homes,
everything.
livelihoods, their businesses. The Palisades is gone. It's
It
absolutely
almost looks like all of LA is gone. I mean, everything that I'm looking at from that aerial view from the plane, it's like the whole city's on fire. It's unbelievable.
they find another spot. It's like, oh, okay, it's not in the Palisades. Okay, we'll go get Mandeville in Brentwood. We'll go to Encino. Encino. We'll go to, Altadena, Pasadena. It's literally just showing up everywhere. And I find out they have 5 credit cards or,
Well,
uh,
I differ with that. I think those are the scapegoats. I think this is something much bigger than that
I'm not
entirely.
I'm not saying they're the ultimate culprits. I
Right,
think
right.
they're being paid. I do think that they're being paid to do this.
I
I
mean, they're so threatened by this. Let me just show this for a second that Gavin Newsom, okay, needed to have a fact checked website, okay? So he made his own website here, donate
wow.
to the fire. Yeah, California Fire Facts. Talk about being threatened by the conspiracies that are going around. So
Right.
California Fire Facts, and he's listing all the facts, a ridiculous lie. We have
Yeah.
doubled the size of our firefighting army, not stating anything that people are saying about the fire hydrants, the
Right.
water reservoirs, all that stuff, insurance company canceling. I mean, there's so much out there right now that's circling around, and this guy's got to make a website that fact check everything. I mean, this to me says it all. Penelope, really, this does.
Well, it's like he does protest too much. That's really what it is. Because clearly he was not there, we know that we've talked about the fires and how they don't clean the brush and they don't fill the reservoirs. And there's so much going on that's so corrupt. And then you have, this whatever, what's our mayor's name or whatever her name is? Karen Bass, who was in Ghana. I mean, honestly, like,
She's in Ghana right now.
no, she was in Ghana, but she knew this was coming. She knew there were going to be heavy winds. We were in fire. It was a fire warning because of the winds, because of the dry weather. She was in Ghana. Like, what are you doing in Ghana? And why aren't you coming home? I mean, it's like, they talk about Rudy Giuliani, who was right there on site, right there when 9/11 happened, right down there on the, in the line of duty. And you're like, where are these people? And why aren't they protecting us? And why aren't they making sure that we're not in this horrible situation? Exactly.
And you don't know how long you're going to be staying in a hotel. You don't know how long this is going to last.
No.
This could last weeks,
and
months.
Few that are very lucky and fortunate to still have our home, and we're not even necessarily right now in a fire zone, and yet they're not allowed. Like, I literally feel like, and I don't know if this sounds controversial, but my husband and I felt like we were like, it's Nazi Germany, and there's National Guards, and there's all these people that won't let you in. And before they were a little bit more lax about it, but it's like, you can't show an ID that you live in your home, and you can't be allowed to protect your home. The reason that these homes are getting looted is because we're not in them. And we're now out of the fire zone. I know the winds are picking up and whatever, but like, we should be allowed in our homes.
Well, their excuse is because they think that because of looting.
Yeah, they think, and I said that it's because of looting.
Yeah, you all look like looters to me.
Yeah, but we're vulnerable. But we're vulnerable to looters because we're not allowed to be in our homes to protect our own homes.
So do they have checkpoints, and are they blocking off the roads and stuff like that?
Like, if they catch you, like, literally my husband and I went like we were underground, going through tunnels or going through like codes and weird ways and hopping fences. And I have a torn ACL right now, and I'm literally like hopping a fence to try and get into my own home. We're legal tax-paying citizens, and we can't get to our own home. And what we wanted to do was water it down, make sure it's safe, make sure there's been no looters.
Just make sure everything's okay.
Yeah. And we're in a neighborhood right now that hasn't luckily been affected, and it would have been, luckily we did evacuate, and luckily our neighborhood is safe, but we're safe right now, and they won't even let us in. And I understand it's a thoroughfare, and the fire department needs to get by, and the police, but if you come on foot and you show your ID and you show that you live in that neighborhood, why aren't they letting you in your homes? The whole thing seems really controlled and very suspicious to me.
I have a feeling this is going to get worse. And, a lot of people that watch my channel, at least, my audience knows what time it is. You know what I mean? They know what's going on. We know where we're at in this now. I've never seen a fire like this in my life. This is like, this outdid 𝗀𝗏𝗯. Like, this is worse.
Yeah. And they say it's similar to 𝗀𝗏𝗯 in the fact that, okay, yes, this one village was destroyed. Yes, the Palisades has been completely destroyed. And this is where my kids went to school and go to dance, and we go to the market and so on. I mean, it's a war zone there. It looks like you're in Ukraine. The bombs have been set off and there's nothing left. It's so sad, so horrific and tragic. And it's like, but that's not it. It's not over. And it's not just that one area. Like, 𝗀𝗏𝗯 was the one area, which was horrible, but it's like it keeps going and going and expanding it. We have friends in Mandeville. We have friends in Brentwood. We have friends in Encino. We have friends in Pasadena. It's like, I think they want to burn LA. I really think.
I think that's the objective here. I do too. And I wonder about China, the whole thing. And those type of things I talk about on the back channel. But I mean, to me, it's completely obvious what's going on here. And I think it is to my audience as well. Have you seen how much of LA is evacuated now? Like, is it all of LA, just parts of LA, or is it?
There are parts of LA that are evacuated. I mean, we are one of them. I understood in the beginning why they didn't want us to be there, because we were in harm's way and it could have come into our canyon where we live. But now that we're sort of out of harm's way and it doesn't look like it's, but honestly, David, like, are they hitting certain areas on purpose? Like, the wind's going to change in a certain way that it will affect our neighborhood? We were watering down every part of our house today because we don't know what could potentially happen. Because if this is a never ending sort of
But you
fire,
had to secretly get to your house.
yeah, no, we had to secretly get to our house where we weren't caught. Otherwise, we would have been kicked out and told to leave because my husband went with other friends of theirs, of ours, that have lost their home, that their cars were still at their property, that they needed to get their cars, and they wouldn't let them through just to get their vehicles so they could actually drive around and go somewhere else. They don't even have their vehicles. Oof. And their homes were destroyed. So, and then friends of ours whose homes were destroyed. And I can't even tell you, David, it's so sad. We know probably maybe 15 families, probably more, whose homes are completely gone. They've lost everything.
What about people's pets and, things like that? I mean, oh my gosh.
A lot of people, I have to say, luckily, there haven't been that many deaths. There's still been too many that too many is too many.
Right.
15 or 16.
How many are there right now? Is it 15? That's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still too much. So they were evacuating people. So that's good that people got out, but people left without anything because they didn't think it would get to them and they didn't know how bad it was going to get. They didn't know how quickly it would get to their area. Like, for instance, my friends that live in the Palisades, they thought, oh, it was north of Sunset. They didn't think it would get south of Sunset. So they didn't take all their, valuables or personal or sentimental belongings. It's so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. And then so many people now who are homeless who don't even know where they're going to live. And
so let me ask you this, like the people that are homeless, like what have you heard? Like what, insurance doesn't cover it. I've heard FEMA's going to cover what is the rumor that I'm hearing with FEMA covering 100% of all damages, or what are they talking about here?
Well, I mean, we don't really know. All we know
nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows any. And that's the other thing that people are frustrated with is everyone's like, oh, we don't know. We don't know. I heard there were a lot of insurance companies that were canceling people's insurance. So they don't even know if they're insured. Just in terms of just finding a place to live already, you can imagine if thousands of people have been run out of their homes and literally have nothing, like everything's gone. And then they're what is it called when you're jacking up the prices? You're
yes. Are you gouging? Are your neighbors around you? Are their houses burnt, or is your home the only house standing, or is your whole neighborhood intact?
Why I think we should be able to go back. Our neighborhood is pretty intact, which is amazing. And I think we should be able to be there to protect our own homes, whether it's fire or no fire. And especially if it's no fire, if it's looting, we should protect our own homes. We don't need, yes, I'm grateful for the National Guard. I'm grateful for the fire department, the LAPD, whatever. But we should be in our homes, because if we're in our homes, they're not going to come loot them. And that's where we're in this crisis of, I think, a constitutional crisis, where if we're legal tax-paying citizens and we're out of harm's way in terms of a fire, and it's looting that you're worried about, that's what makes you vulnerable to looting, is when no one's in their homes. And then we don't have power, and we don't have internet, and it's crazy.
Do you really feel like you want to stay there in California? I mean, that's going to be obviously, that's my next question. Like, do you really want to stay there? I mean, after all this, is it going to be even a desirable place to live? It seems to me like they want people out of there, man.
They do.
They do. I do think that. And I do think it's really sad, because my kids, even when Jimmy and I've talked about, should we move somewhere else? My kids are like, our life is here. Our friends are here. But now my daughters are so emotionally devastated, because the town that they grew up in, the town that they had everything in, whether it was restaurants or schools or, shopping or markets, it's completely, obliterated. It's gone. And so they're
So it's easy. It's probably going to be easier for you guys just to leave and go start over somewhere else.
gone. So then what did they make us a smart city? And is that their plan? Like, what is the plan? Like that is so sad to me. You know, you have someone like Rick Caruso who built a lot of the Palisades, and hopefully I know he's wanting to rebuild it, and he has a lot of expensive stores, and he had a sort of firewall around it, like the Getty had the firewall around the Getty Villa. They didn't get burned down. You know, yeah, we appreciate that he wants to help rebuild it, but the character and the memories that we have there as children, it's never going to be the same. And you just worry about your safety. And then my daughter can't go back to school. She has to go online.
This is probably the greatest
Yeah.
natural disaster that's hit in an American city I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Is that the question?
Oh yeah, well, okay, natural disaster. Okay, soon an earthquake will probably. I mean, who knows? I'm just gonna say, I don't. This is a whole different kind of warfare. Okay, everyone knows on my channel what I'm talking about, but that's what I think. That's what I see going on here, and how convenient. How convenient. Trump's gonna be inaugurated in just a few days. What happened the last time when during the election? I mean, it's all the same stuff, man. It's the same gangsters behind this stuff to me.
Right.
So I can only say I'm praying for you guys. I love you guys very much, and
we love you guys, and you guys have.
I hope you can. If you're welcome. You're welcome to come down here if you need to. So
I know.
𝗪𝗪 𝗪𝗪.
Well, we love that about you, and I know we've had you in our neck of the woods, and we had such a great time recently, and it just makes me sad that we're in this situation right now, because even the beach club that you came to with us is gone.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's heartbreaking.
No way.
Yeah.
Not ours.
No, but the 𝗏𝗪. Yeah, not the.
But the one where we laid on the beach right there with the.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
He came with us and Trisha.
Yeah, honey, that's 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗍.
Yes.
Laid out. That's our club.
Oh, okay. Well, the one we all went to dinner.
Well, I went to two of them.
You went to two. Okay, it was the second.
One of them's gone.
Yeah.
Damn. Right there on the beach like that? I thought it was hitting more the hills and stuff.
Here's the thing, David. This is what's so crazy is like you go down the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, a lot of these homes that were destroyed are right on the beach. And you think, wait, we have an ocean. We have an ocean right there. How can this happen? How can we not use the resources of our ocean, the reservoirs, which were drained before this happened? These winds that suddenly were going to be kicked up. The whole thing just doesn't smell right. It just smells like
it's not passing the smell test at all. Not for anybody. Aren't you guys gonna have more winds tonight?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which is why we're not allowed to go home, and then they say maybe Wednesday, and and Jimmy and I are thinking, like, because we have our two girls, and we're like, should we go somewhere else? Should we leave? But it's sort of scary to leave your home when it's vulnerable. It's just a weird feeling.
I would imagine the freeways are packed. Are they the interstate?
I don't know. People are going to Palm Springs. People are going to Manhattan Beach. People are going wherever they can go. But we're just. I swear to God, we're living in the twilight zone. I've never in my entire life, and we were in New York during 9/11. I've been here through massive bad earthquakes. I grew up here. I have been through fires in Malibu. I have been through so much disaster. And look, I don't live in a war-torn country like Ukraine, but when you look at the Palisades, if you look at any of those videos, you are in Ukraine. You are in, a war-torn, disaster area where bombs have been set off. That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like.
You know what they say, this fifth generational warfare is not fought with tanks and bombs. It's a whole different type of technology and warfare. So buckle up, because I got a feeling this is going to get worse. Penny, thank you so much for joining me. I always love having you on. Tell Jimmy I said hello, and you guys are welcome here.
Oh, I know. And thank you because we will probably take you up on it. If
Yeah.
one way
I'll
or
talk to you after this.
Yeah.
We'll stay on the line. But you guys, okay. Well, where can people find you, Penny? Do you want people to find you?
They can find me if they'd like. I'm Penelope Ann Miller on Instagram, Penelope A. Miller on X, and that's it. I have no Facebook. And I
Penelope A. Miller on X.
Yeah, and I really, really, really want, like, I don't want to sit here and complain because I'm one of the lucky ones. I want to help people. I want to help those in need. I want to help people who need to find a home. I want to help people who need clothes, who need dishes, who need plates, who need, like, honestly, like, who need businesses rebuilt. We know so many people who've lost their businesses, who've lost their livelihoods, who've lost their work at the markets, who've lost their work at the restaurants, who've lost their work at our dance studio. I mean, not ours, but our, where my children danced, the schools. It's just insane. Not only these people who've lost their homes and literally left with the clothes on their backs. We need to help. We need to donate. We need to find, and if you go online, like I'm to my social media, I have shown some of the places you can donate. There's help clean up the Palisades. There'll be more, but whatever we can do to really, really help these people who are literally in need and don't have a place to live and don't have clothes on their back.
I heard they're flying in Mexican firemen.
Yeah.
Wow, that's where we're at in America.
We let so many in over our border.
Yeah, they're like, we'll go help our familia.
We come in. Yeah, we'll help you. You helped us. We scratched.
Yeah. Thank you. This is crazy, man. All right, Penny. Let's stay on real quick.
Okay, I will.